Hello everyone. K-Dog here. I am, as you can see there, I'm kind of between Kingsville and Pleasant Hill in the middle of nowhere in Missouri, but it's home for me. I have not posted a video in over a year. I've had some life changes, work changes, a couple different jobs, and little rough spots here and there. But I'm finally back, and life is great. God is great. And I wanted to post today to tell you about me moving from a 2014 Harley Tri-Glide to a Can-Am Spyder. That's right. That thing right there. 2020 Can-Am Spyder. I never thought I would not have a Harley. But due to life and health and all kinds of other things, I ended up doing some test riding, and this is an amazing fit for me. So I'm going to get on, I'm going to go for a ride, and while I'm riding, I'm going to tell you about why I switched from a Tri-Glide to this thing. I'll tell you a bit about why, what I liked and didn't like about the Harley, and what I like and don't like about this. So let's go for a ride. Get my glasses on here. A little bit of traffic. It's around, 3:30 I think, so some people might start coming home. It's right before Super Bowl weekend. So we'll see. I'm sure traffic will be fine. I like how that electric windshield pops up automatically. All right, turn off the parking brake, put her in gear. Let's get on the road. I'll put my helmet down so you can hear me better. All right, so I've had bikes my whole life. First bike was a Suzuki, I don't know, GS 500, 550, something like that, when I was in high school. Loved it. So excited when I first got it. It was my first bike. I was shaking. I was so excited on the way home. Ran out of gas. Made it to a gas station. Some friendly guy helped me out. Gave me a bit of gas money. And that was my first bike. After that, I had multiple Hondas. I had a Harley Ultra Classic. I had Valkyrie Interstate, Shadows. Probably my favorite bike for a long time was the Valkyrie Interstate. Awesome bike, awesome touring bike. So I've been riding my whole life. Unfortunately, in 2001, I had my first back surgery. I remember I was in bed recovering when 9/11 happened. So I've had back problems really ever since then. I've had a total of 4 back surgeries. Again, my first was 2001, but you know, there's 2 things I love in the world, other than my family, of course, is God and riding motorcycles. So even though I had a back surgery, I recovered, I rode, did some fun trips. And then I had another back surgery. Gosh, I can't remember how many years it was after that. So I had one more. I started having a hard time pushing the big bikes around. You know, even sitting at a light or when you're kind of pushing yourself backwards. Always had 2-wheelers. You know, these are all obviously motorcycles. Had my second back surgery, and then round about 2000 and oh gosh, I can't remember. There's been so many. I can't remember now. I had my 2005 Ultra Classic. Awesome motorcycle. I loved it. But that was when I hurt myself again. And so I had to sell it, and I really thought I was done riding. I didn't ride for a number of years after that. I think that's when I had another back surgery. After, gosh, 3 or 4 years, maybe a little more than that, I just couldn't take it anymore. I had to start researching again. there's got to be some way I can keep riding. Maybe one of these three-wheelers I'd seen, you know, like the Goldwing kits, the Harley, you know, the Harley Tri-Glides. Maybe that would be easy enough on my back and not too expensive, and I could actually get into one of those. So I did some research, looked at the Goldwing kits. They're just so expensive. They're nice, they're very comfortable, would have been great on the back, but just too much money. And I found a deal on a local Harley Tri-Glide, a 2014 Harley Tri-Glide. I bought it in Olathe, Kansas. So talked to the wife. She wasn't real happy. She likes, you know, she likes riding with me. It's not her favorite thing to do in the world. I think she likes it a lot more now that I have the Spyder, but I talked her into it. We've all been through that probably, right? Talked her into it, got the Tri-Glide. I was in heaven. You know, riding a three-wheeler, obviously, for those who have done it, you're not counter steering anymore. You're not leaning, you know, into curves. In many ways, it's not the same feel at all. But you are out there with your friends, on the road, going to events, and I loved it. I loved it. Started doing some, you know, minor comfort adjustments here and there. You know, adding a backrest and adding a taller windshield and some softer grips, and you know, the usual things you do. Some chrome here and there. I mean, it's a Harley, right? Loving it, loving it, loving it. All this time I was riding a lot more. I got involved in a local motorcycle association, and I was riding more and more, and my back was just aching, you know, longer. It would be fine, and then I'd be out for a while, then it'd be fine. And so I started wondering how I could prolong my riding life. I mean, I want to ride until I can't stand anymore. I just love it. I can't explain it. I'm sure a lot of you know exactly what I'm saying. So I started researching, okay, what's the next level of comfort and ease on my back? You know, what else can I do? So I started looking at new suspension for the Tri-Glide. You know, put a lift kit on the back. Kind of started to research all that. Yeah, you know, I could put heated grips on, and I could put heated seats on for that kind of comfort. But I started researching all that, and then I'm like, okay, how much more money do I want to put into a 2014 Tri-Glide if there are other options that might be, you know, as good a deal or better in terms of comfort and price that I should consider? Had no intention of going away from a Harley necessarily. You know, the first thing I did was start looking at newer models, and oh, they're just great, but oh, they're so much money, so expensive. Looked at the Goldwing kits again, you know, great, a lot of them available if you know where to look, but they're expensive, and most of them have a lot of miles on them. People that get the Goldwing kits, they just really love it. So I had never really looked before, never paid attention, but that's when I started seeing more about the Can-Am Spyder. So I did the research, and I was like, hey, you know, this looks really interesting. It's not a Harley, but it's built from the ground up to be a three-wheeler. You know, it's two wheels on the front instead of two on the back. Can-Am is a perfectly good company, you know, no problems there. I started getting into some of the Spyder communities online and seeing what people had to say, and you know, everyone just seemed to really love their Spyders. And when I got to looking more, I'm like, okay, the price is not unreasonable. I could get everything I think I need, comfort-wise, performance-wise, handling-wise, for not a whole lot more with a trade-in than what I've got now. And it'd be a lot less money than trying to look for a newer Harley Tri-Glide with all the fixings on it. So I went down, drove down to Springfield to a good Spyder dealer down there, Can-Am dealer, and arranged with the sales guy ahead of time. Great guy. I'll try to post their information in the description down below. great guy. He brought his own Spyder in and let me test drive that, which was an R3. He let me test drive a RT Limited that was on the lot. And oh my gosh, I just could not believe it. And I'll go through all the things I love and don't love about it. But long story short, I said, okay, this is not only what I want to do, but what I got to convince my wife I want to do. So she was awesome about it. She knew this was something that was really important to me, and you know, I think she agreed it was going to be easier on me back-wise. So I started my search. Where can I find exactly what I'm looking for in the kind of the 4-state area? I don't want to go real far to get something if I can find it. Looked and looked and looked. Most of the stuff that was what I wanted, you know, used, not new, but used, was, gosh, 13 hours away. And then I got lucky and I found what looked like exactly what I was looking for in Oklahoma City. So took a Friday off and got on the Tri-Glide and headed, you know, 7 or so hours down to Oklahoma City and looked at this RT Limited 2020. Looked for it, did a test drive, and boy, I just knew that's what I wanted to do. I kind of knew before I went down there, but I just wanted to go and make sure and give myself a chance to think it over, and you know, make sure the wife's going to be good with it, and make sure I'm going to be good with it, because this needs to be, you know, something that lasts me a long time. So I sat around for an hour just kind of pretending I was contemplating to myself, knowing that I was going to get it, and I rode home on my Spyder. So let me tell you what I love about my Spyder RT Limited. It has got all the power that I want. It's a 1300 plus cc Rotax engine. You can probably kind of hear it, not really. Awesome, you know, power. It's got an electric adjustable windshield, so instead of me buying a new windshield or putting different, you know, heights on based on what kind of riding I'm doing, I can just adjust it with a button. It's got power steering, so I'm not pushing the Tri-Glide through corners anymore. It's got ABS and traction control, which is great. It's got a backrest. It's got air adjusted suspension. It'll kind of, you know, it rolls this way a little bit instead of back and forth. You kind of have to get used to that. But it's hugely comfortable. These are the grips that came on it. These are the long grips. You can see how kind of close they are to me. I've got the original grips too. I think the person that had it before me was maybe short. So at first I wasn't sure I was going to like these, but you know what? This position is so comfortable. I could sit here all day long, which is exactly the kind of riding I like to do. It's totally comfortable. It's got heated grips, heated seats on the front and on the back. Gosh, what else? It's very comfortable in the back for my wife. It's got tons of storage. I'll try to, if I have time here, I'll try to get off and show you all the storage, but the entire front opens up, a big deep well in the front for storage, the trunk bag on the back, the 2 side bags, lots and lots of storage. So I just love it. Let me talk a minute about the things I don't like about it. I don't know if I should say don't like, it's just the things that I wish were different, but they're just not. The sound system is not as good as the one on the Tri-Glide, and I didn't have a really great, you know, cool one on the Tri-Glide, but this one is not as good as that. I need to decide which turn I'm going to take here. It's not a Harley, you know, it doesn't have that rumble, it doesn't have that Harley, gosh, you know, just you love it when you're taking off from a stop sign. It doesn't have that feel to it. The steering takes a little bit to get used to. Like I said, it's with the power steering and the way the 2 wheels are on the front, it's much more reactive to your driving than a motorcycle or the Tri-Glide. It's one step further away from riding a motorcycle. You know, going to the Tri-Glide, you're not counter steering and you're not leaning and all that. Well, here, if you notice, I don't have a clutch lever. I don't have a brake lever. That's all automatic. Just the paddle is all the braking. It actually shifts down for you automatically. There's a paddle shifter right here. I can shift down manually if I want to, but it'll also do it for me automatically. Let me pull over here. So it does have paddle shifting, which, you know, it's different. It's not bad or good, but it's just different. So I think those are the things. I think those are the things in general that, you know, I wish were different about it, but the pluses outweigh the minuses so much. One other thing, let me put it in neutral, put the parking brake on. One other thing is, oh, it's got a true reverse instead of the starter engaging like on the Tri-Glide to do reverse. And every time I backed out of the garage, I felt like it was about to kind of give out on me. This thing's got a true reverse on it, which is great. You know, it's great for when my wife and I are on it together. I can just back right out of a spot. It's easy for me, especially with my back. So I just love it. I had to think really hard about going away from a Harley, going away from the Tri-Glide. Let me turn it off here for a minute. I'll put my visor up. But when I think about what I need to do long term so I can keep riding with my back and all, this is just great. It's super dirty. I apologize for that. It is so dirty. Literally, it's been, you know, it's February something here in Missouri. It's been, you know, a month ago it was -6 degrees outside. So I haven't had a lot of chance to ride. This is the first day over 60. I think it's about 60 now. I've had a chance to jump on. So anyway, let me pop the trunk for you, which is key locked. Huge amount of space in here. The well goes way down there. Storage on the side, both these bags on the side. And of course those lock as well. The luggage rack here, you know, pretty deep, lots of space in here as well. So tons of storage space, and I'll probably put a rack on it up here. Again, really comfortable for the wife. She's got bigger handles than she did on the Tri-Glide to hold on. Heated grips, heated seats. The console, you know, the console's fine. What am I going to do to it? What else do I think I need to do? Well, I gotta make it feel like me. I'll probably put there's an add-on you can put on right here that gives you more mounts for USB and things like that. So I'll probably put that on. The mirrors, when you're riding, these mirrors actually feel pretty cheap. They tend to shake a little bit in the wind. So there's a kit you can get that'll redo that and make them not shake. And gosh, at some point I may put a wrap on it. I mean, it looks pretty good now, but I may put a wrap on it with some kind of cool theme. Man, I think that's it. So again, I apologize I haven't had a video out in so long. Lots going on. I wanted to talk through. I don't have the Tri-Glide anymore. Now I've got this 2020. Gosh, I keep saying 2020. I think it is. It's either 2019 or 2020. I think it's 20. Spyder RT Limited. It is so much fun. It is so much fun. I hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions about the Can-Am, anything else about what I like or don't like about it, man, post me some questions.
Hey everyone, K-Dog here. I'm jumping in at the end of the video to apologize. It's been over a year since I've done a GoPro video and my battery quit on me. So I wanted to just add at the end of the video here, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions or comments about going from a Tri-Glide to a Spyder, please post in the comments section. Would love to have a discussion. Would love to get a like and a subscribe for you. That would help more people find the video and hopefully help some more conversation. So anyway, thanks for sticking around. I appreciate you, and ride blessed.